Hey, what's up guys? Your average wargamer is back with another video of World of Warships. And today I'm going to be featuring another Essex gameplay, which is a tier 10 American carrier. And honestly, in my opinion, Essex, I already posted a review. It is completely broken in this state. The fighters, as you can see, are also pretty strong, and I just recently realized that how broken the strength of these fighters are if you use them correctly. And in this case, I just basically shred down 9 out of its fighters, which is pretty easy once you put that plane on top of the enemy CV planes, which is very easy. At least against an average or poor CV player, he will definitely going to lose a ton of planes. And in this case, Malta is definitely not an exception. And that poor guy didn't realize that he should press the F button, and he didn't. Secondly, I uses those rocket planes which are really strong, like 12 of the rockets that you can send on a single target with these tactical planes. And I'm telling you, if you aim them correctly, which unfortunately I did not, at least in this strike, they can literally do 10 to 15,000 damage in just a single strike with a couple of fires as well, which is amazing. And I mean, the second thing is, or I would say the third thing is that these bombs that I'm using, which is another tactical squadron, you can only send one tactical squadron, it has one strike, and these bombs are in total of 24 in 6 of these planes, and they basically hurt destroyers and light cruisers, or basically these heavy cruisers, really hard. They hit like an absolute truck sometimes. And in this case, Venezia unfortunately smoked up as well. So I just tried to drop him blindly, and well, that didn't work. And there's a Holland that also popped up right in front of the Venezia, which gives me some idea that where the DD might be. And now I have actually these tactical squadrons back again. So it is pretty funny to see that these planes are pretty fast in having that preparation time. And in this case, I'm going to be trying to use these fighters, these HE rockets on this broadside Vincent, and I will try to get as decent strike as possible, hopefully this time, to basically give you a good idea. Even though St. Vincent actually has decent AA with defensive AA, and he can potentially shoot down 1 or 2 of my HE rockets, which will obviously reduce my potential strike. But overall, if you just try and do the things right, you can definitely do some damage. In this case, again, my initial strikes were pretty bad, but as you progress through this game, over time you will realize how ridiculously strong Essex is currently if you play it right. And it's just a start, and I'm having a bit of a bad start, I would say. And there's that Malta again with these torpedo bombers. And I'm expecting that he might coming for the Iwami, but since he's not a good CV player, he's definitely going to eat a ton of damage from the fighters, and he will lose almost 75% of the squad, which you can see, I already shot down 8 of his planes. St. Vincent damage control, that defensive AA is cooldown, so I can use these torpedo bombers, which has insane torpedo damage as well. 6.4k torpedo damage each, with 4 of these torpedoes that you can send in a single strike. Imagine the strike that will hit on a battleship. It will hurt absolutely hard. Did you saw that? It's almost 20k drop on St. Vincent. That is the power of A6 strikes. It is kind of crazy. And I also got his engine as well, so probably going to get a flood hopefully. And I mean, they are very easy to land on a battleship. You can see here, I land 3 torpedoes, which is nice. I don't know how I didn't manage to get all top hits, but at least these are still enough torpedoes that I basically dealt him almost 33k damage. And St. Vincent taken massive damage. He's basically super overextended, and since the Malta is coming again with those AP bombers, and since I have this enhanced reaction build, they will instantly tag onto the Malta AP bombers. And can you see that? In the minimap, they're going to get tagged again, and I shot down 6 of his fighters. He's constantly doing the wrong thing. He should not have pushed into the fighter aura of Essex, because Essex fighter aura is crazy big. But he didn't realizing that he's doing terribly wrong. Right now, I can see that there is Gearing, who will die eventually. There is Balau that is spotted around B, and you will find out that Balau will get spotted and he will also die. But unfortunately, our team also kind of running away from C because there's not a whole lot of destroyers left. And Iwami, as you can see, is just pushing ridiculously relentless. Like, he's just not realizing that he's in a terrible spot and he should be kiting away in Iwami, but he's not doing it. So he will also going to die eventually. There's a massive push coming from A, and there's Malta coming again with these rockets. And I could put the fighter again and basically get these planes tagged. just the moment the Malta planes gets into the aura, you will see that it will do good damage to the fighters. And you can see that I shot on quite a lot of his planes. And now coming back to these bombs, dropping on Holland, and it was a bit of a bad drop, I would say, but still I got 2 bomb hits, which probably dealt like 3,500 damage, which I was pretty happy actually. I mean, if I would have aimed just slightly better, could have given a bit more lead in against Holland, it would have easily netted me like 7-8k damage because these bombs are that good. And Essex obviously also have one more thing in its sleeve that I'm not using currently, and that is smokes. And since I'm realizing that there's not a whole lot of cruisers that can utilize the smoke, I know these battleships will just gonna shoot regardless, even if I smoke them up, because they just don't know what they're doing. So with that said, I realized that I would just save those smokes for myself, since I know you just can't rely on team most of the time in randoms, and well, that's exactly that I know that it will happen. It's going to be a tough game at the end. You will find out soon that whether it's going to be a win or not. But here I have my torpedo bombers ready, and this time it's not like a defensive or very strong St. Vincent, you saw that, right? It does shoot on some planes, and I did only get 2 strikes, but in this case, hopefully I might get probably a couple of strikes on the Lepanto, but Lepanto unfortunately in smoke again. So there's a lot of ships that are basically in the smoke here and there. He just basically got into the smoke, still going to eat for some reason 2 torpedoes, which is very, very funny. But hey, at least I got some value out of this torpedo bombers. And now there's Lepanto, which I think I should not have dropped from this angle, because this angle is actually terrible. Like, I'm not going to get a lot of value out of this. But never mind, I just really looking forward to get at least a couple of strikes on him. And for some reason, as you can see the minimap, Malta is dropping me for I don't know, no reason. I think he just got so much pissed off by me giving fighter support to Iwami or something, that he just realized that I should snipe the Essex. And I mean, he can try that, but Essex actually has a decent AA, to be honest. It's not that bad. And again, here the Malta just not able to do things the way he should be doing, and he's just doing terrible right now. Even though one thing that I have to say about Essex is that it has really bad armor. The Essex armor is actually one of the weaknesses that I think can be currently exploited by good CV mains, because the fighters of the Essex cannot spot for itself. Like, it has only 2 kilometer spotting aura once you place the fighters, like those petrol fighters. In the case of Essex, it's the case like that, but in the case of other carriers, it's different. You can basically spot all the ships without having this limitation. And well, let me show you the strike power of these rockets. Perfectly aimed rockets this time, and 13k damage, 9 rocket hits, 2 permanent fires. I smoking up myself here, and this Lepanto will definitely going to die because of these permanent fires that he has. And I mean, you can literally smoke up in Essex if you want to, which I'm doing it right now. And that is pretty crazy. On top of that, I mean, I'm coming up with these bombs, and I know that the Brest does not have the best of the armor, so I can use these bombs against this poor guy. As you can see here, he like 7 kilometers away. The way to drop these bombs is to basically start to drop around like 5 to 4 kilometers. And in this case, you can see you actually have a bit of a time. So you can do exactly that, and you will go, possibly going to get some decent hits. And you can see here, like 7 bomb hits, 12,000 damage, 2 fires which he have to dissipate, and now I'm going to be using my torpedo bombers again. As simple as that. I mean, and these torpedo bombers, you will find out how brutal they will hurt on this poor Brest. he does not realizing that I have torpedo bombers coming towards him. I am basically unspotted because he does not know at all that, he does not even see the planes. The planes didn't get spotted from the breast because of the island as cover. And here you can see here, like I dropped the breast here, like exactly on point. Maybe I'm gonna land 3 torpedoes, yeah, but that's fine. And you can see like 12.5k damage. Pop the heel. Again, I'm gonna use this torpedoes on breast, and he's reversing, which he should not. He has to try to do something, and he's not doing anything, not even trying to speed juke. And again, now you can see 20,000 damage in just a single strike. And I can have another strike. And this poor breast, even though, well, he has a permanent flood, he's probably going to move forward, and I still have a bit of a space to drop these torpedoes. And breast is literally dead, like it is literally dead. And look at that. He just died in just a couple of these torpedo hits. And that's the power of the Essex torpedo bombers. It is crazy. I have done some mistakes in the start of the game, and you can still see that I just did almost like 148k damage. Rest completely got pissed. And well, I am blind against Moskva here, and I just tried to drop him here. I thought that he's going to be there. The mistake that I did probably cost me this attack run because I didn't realize that the Moskva is on the left instead on the middle. And smoking myself up in the Essex just to make sure that I go behind the islands, because that's the valuable advantage that you can have when you're using Essex. Essex can basically smoke for himself, and that's what literally you can do to basically go and push to the aggressive positioning. And that is crazy thing about the Essex, to be honest. It is ridiculous. And now I know the position of the Moskva. Moskva gets spotted with these planes, and Moskva have actually one thing at least, and that is obviously its tankier 50mm armor plating, which basically helps to get a lot of non-penetrations. So didn't get a lot of damage out of those bombs, which is unfortunate because of this 42mm armor penetration limitation. Essex does suffer like not having these bombs. And now what I have realized that Shimakaze basically spot the Holland, and the Holland is actually a very, very important target to be killed right now. And since the Shimakaze is smoked up, I'm just spotting the Holland here freely, and he's basically going to die in just a second. And there it is. He basically got off guard. And well, there is one thing that I did, like Malta basically get tagged in my fighters, but my fighters are also going to get tagged, so I instantly press the F button. I don't want to get my torpedo bombers tagged, so I just save them. And now I'm coming to use these HE attack rockets on the Moskva that is basically around the cover at A. And since I have such a strong positioning here with the smoke, with the cover, I know that I would have a good chance of killing basically all these ships, all 3 of these ships. As the Moskva having this cover advantage, helping me, helping him quite a lot, and that's basically gonna give him advantage of 1 plane getting shot down. But at least now Moskva gets spotted, so hopefully I will get a decent strike this time. And 5 of these planes, if they go, they definitely will give some damage. And yeah, that is pretty good. 5 rocket hits does hit hard, around 9,000 damage, which I was pretty happy about. And there is a Vermont that I do fear that I have to not show broadside. And since there is Vermont that is basically pushing, and the Shimakaze definitely needs some sort of support, I thought that I should go and drop this Vermont. Vermont probably taken also a torpedo from Shimakaze, so I know his damage control is also going to be on cooldown. And since the ASIC torpedo bombers are actually pretty good in getting floods, there is a very good chance that I might get permanent flood, which is probably going to be the case. I will soon find out. But let's see if I can do some decent damage on this Vermont. Remember, Vermont has very, very strong AA. With defensive AA fire, it can be definitely a tough thing to manage. And here you can see there, Vermont is turning in, but the turning in basically makes him vulnerable to eat at least 2 torpedoes. And this bait actually worked pretty well. And I'm just gonna get another drop. Although Vermont is actually trying really hard to basically dodge all the torpedoes. And in this situation, I actually lost quite a lot of torpedo planes because of the Vermont defensive AA. But still, I've got 3 torpedo hits, which is pretty nice. And Vermont is basically very low now. And there's the Moskva that is absolutely pushing like crazy. So I have to basically go and drop the Moskva. And hopefully, if that would be a right aim, I might get a decent hit. Gonna be using those bombs on Moskva, and let's see if I can do some damage. Okay, 3 rocket hits. It's not impressive, I would say, but at least I got a fire. And now I'm just gonna use these bombers, which are probably not the best. They're not the best, to be honest. I mean, they might give me some damage, but I don't expect a whole lot. And they're like only 3 penetration hits for some reason. In this position, I think it's a bit, yeah, he got a bit lucky in this sense. But I'm just gonna pre-drop a single, squad, like attack run, and I'm just gonna use this one because, well, I want to save a bit of my planes because I just lost quite a lot of planes against that Vermont that now actually died, which is pretty nice. So I just sent the torpedoes, and he got a flood. Moskva basically turned out, and I just have another strike. These islands actually giving me so much valuable as cover that basically make my life super better. And here, unfortunately, Shimakaze was super aggressive and he basically died, which is actually making our life even more hard. I sent 4 torpedoes. He eaten all 4 torpedoes, which is really nice. I got a permanent flood. And hopefully the Lepanto will be able to kill the Moskva or the Flandre because he's in terrible position. And now there is a Venezia. And I just put the plane just to basically help the Lepanto. And Venezia is actually the one that is basically having a lot of HP. And since I don't have a lot of torpedo planes, I mean, I do have another squad, like another, EG rocket squad. But I'm just going to use it in the case of Venezia, and we'll try to do some damage to him. But I know that my planes did not have that much enough tanking power. So yeah, it will be shoot down, unfortunately. And well, what would happen here in this case that I think someone just smashed him, and I think it's the Lepanto, because the Venezia is completely broadsiding and Flandre basically got him. And even though that is really good, the problem is that we have right now that they have a lot of points right now. I mean, we have a lead of points, but it will soon going to die, and that's actually a bit of a problem. I smoked up the Lepanto. I tried to smoke up the Flandre, but it really does not matter. The CV will probably going to strike him regardless for now. And I just bought the Malta. Malta is basically turning out, realizing that he can win the game because he has advantage in, in the points. Right now we have points, but I think we might lose off of Flandre, I believe. And that's the reason why we're going to lose. It is definitely looking, but well, I'm just going to go and drop this Malta here because that's what I can actually do. There's nothing else that I can do. I mean, even if I move out of this position, it really does not matter. You can able to see that the damage that I did basically with the rockets, like 8 penetration, did like 14k damage. The damage was pretty insane with these HE alpha strikes that you can do. And I almost did like 270k damage, which is crazy, okay? We still have a lead right now in the terms of points, but it's still not looking that good. The enemy team, have points right now, and I fear that our Flandre might die, and we might lose the game. I don't remember. It's like 30 seconds remaining. I did almost 270k damage, and let's see. Yeah, we have points in lead right now, okay? We do have points in lead, but I think the Flandre might die here. That's what I fear. No, he basically will not die. We have 774 points, right? We have high points. I remember this to be a loss. How did we lose this game? I actually don't remember. 780 points, 767. We have high, and how we have this game in defeat? What is this? Wait, we have more points. 783, 770. Enemy team won by points. How? Wait, What? What am I watching? Wait, that's not possible. We have more points. Okay, okay. I was actually shocked to now realize that in a replay, there is a defeat on a winning game. Can someone explain this maybe in the comment down below, guys? I mean, I don't understand this, but let me tell you the numbers that I got. 270k damage, 33 torpedo hits, 23 bomb hits, 2 kills, a defense expert, Confederate. If I would have got Confederate in Halsey in Essex, it would be even brutal against enemy team because I would have proc the Halsey and it would have given a preparation time of squadron less 20%. Like I would get straight up buff of 20% more region of planes, which is pretty insane. 45 planes shot down and quite a lot of torpedo. I mean, I got decent flooding, decent defended. Team score wise, 1.8k base XP on a loss. Very unfortunate. The Moscow, he did play well. The Malta was not the good player actually, and he basically lost quite a lot of planes with my fighters. But it is a bit mind-boggling that why we actually got defeated, even though we have more points. Enemy team won by points. How? Care to explain me this? It seems to be another bug right now in the game. Okay, so let me show you the detailed report. Brest, Lepanto, Moskva. You can see that I did consistent damage across all these ships, especially on the Vermont as well. It in 6 torpedoes did 25k damage to him. I got a flood which does like 18,000, which is pretty nice. Did some damage to Malta and also did some damage to Holland. So pretty consistent damage or like on the top of all these ships that you can see right now. So it is a defeat, unfortunately, for weird bug that I can't understand. And well, this is basically the Essex game. Thank you guys for watching. And I'm going to be reporting this bug or something that I don't believe it. But now I know that it is a problem. So yeah. So thank you guys. And I will catch you into the next one. Peace out.